Welcome back to the land where trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. As usual, I'm your host, Jenny Baker, with Six Figure Trading Coach, where we show you, trading is as easy as you make it on yourself. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Anyways, sorry it's been a little while. I just got back from Mexico. I took a nice little cruise with the family. It was a beautiful, great time, just celebrating the end of summer and all that good jazz. However, we had a great trade a couple of weeks ago. I can't wait to go review that with you. A couple of big announcements and a couple of new trades to go look at. As you know, before I go any further, our call on July 9th, we called over, 1,000 pips, right? On a public 4-hour video. Took us 20 minutes. Figure if you took that one time, not even including scale-ins or re-entries and all the things that go into it, that's a lot of money. That's 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, depending on your account size, right? And even more if you're taking multiple entries in that direction. The opportunity with this industry they're endless. There's so many things that can go right. I know there's a lot that can go wrong. It's complicated, it's hard. Brokers, blah, 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 we get it. Having said that, trading futures, Forex, stocks, cryptos is a skill set that you can learn in a very short amount of time if you stick with something long enough to actually get good at it, right? What's the thing that Bruce Lee said? He didn't practice 10,000 kicks, 10,000 different times. He practiced one kick 10,000 times, right? Same kind of concept applies here too. For those of y'all who don't know, we've got our US30 Copier is going really, really well. Our gold copier is going really well. And that's through Six Figure Trading Coach. All that information is in the link tree, the Patreon. You guys get it. It's going to be here. You can scan this little scannable link. You'll be able to join the community or just get access to the copiers. They work. It is not a perfect system. It is a very profitable system. We just actually had a testimony. Maybe the team can plop that in here. Somebody had made it over 100% in the last, 30 weeks or 4 weeks or 2 weeks or something along those lines. Don't quote me. There's a lot of people who are doing great, great things with it. So I'm excited about it, and I'd love for you guys to join and come take a look. So having said that, before we go any further, of course, brokers, if you have not already done so, please make sure you click on, again, the link tree. We're right now mostly working with Plexi. So if you don't have them as a broker, please make sure you scan that. Use the actual link. We're building a community and hopefully an army of people that we can still get access to MetaQuotes and MT5 and a company who will just fix anything that we need, regardless of what that is, right? That's the idea. Very reliable broker. They used to be LQD, now known as Plexi. Please make sure you go take a look. And if you're attached to anything US30, you're definitely going to want to have that particular broker. A backup option is N1C. That's also in that link tree. And that's all I've got in terms of announcements. So let's go take a look at our actual spreadsheet to see what these 4-hour trade experience have been doing. And then we're going to review the trade we took a couple weeks ago. And we have a couple new ones for you this evening. Okay, so just a brief overview of what we did on July 9th. We called USD Chef. It has played out perfectly. We're going to go take a look. We've got a couple more and a bonus one on there for this evening as well. That's over 20,000 pips called live for free, public on YouTube. Remember, I'm not doing this as, quote, a signals idea or even a sales pitch or a, clickbait, none of that. I'm doing that to show you that when you follow a simple system, reasonable management, you can have duplicatable, reasonable profits. That's my only goal, is to show people that trading is not complex. It is not impossible. There's a lot of complexities involved, sure. And yeah, people get lost in the sauce quite often. But in general, I don't care if it's trend lines. I don't care if it's Ichimoku. I don't care if it's naked, fair value gaps or whatever, inverse things that you want to call. If you can duplicate it over and over again and follow comparable, applicable management, you can be profitable. And that's really my only goal. So 203 pips on that trade and more, depending on how many entries you have, obviously. We've got a couple of new ones today. Even with taking, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we took some major loss here. Well, 1,200 pips is not that big in comparison to wins. But even with wins and losses, we were still able to count almost 10,000 pips in our live classes. We have 2 winning trades from this morning in our live classes as well. And that's what we're doing behind the scenes in our private community. Again, if you're interested, make sure you click on that link tree and all the things. Come take a look. Come join us. Let's build an army of people who are doing great things, who are like-minded, who know how to keep a community positive. We already know life and trading is hard enough without bringing all the unnecessary nonsensory into it. So yes, that's the goal. It's just like-minded investors who are all, on the same path, right? Maybe different points of our journeys, but on the same path. So I'm excited for all of the amazing people we have in there now. And again, come take a look. We have a free public community back there and see. And that's what I've got there. So Let's go take a look at our charts real quick and see what we have available. Okay, kind of exciting, right? It's nice to come back and see things after a period of time. It's hard in the interim of the up, down, left, right. Oh my gosh, news, somebody said, what the heck, blah, 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 blah. These moments are hard, but it's really a beautiful thing to say, hey, on July 9th, at approximately this time, we called this as a sell. We came in a very minimal drawdown. We never broke structure. We came perfectly into that first blue target. We consolidated, really validating this area, popped above, made a spring, came all the way down to our major target, okay, sprung below it, came back up to our previous target, and of course have now come back below. Beautiful trade overall. This was it. This is what we followed. We only had one. In trying to keep true to, hey, showing you that you follow one strategy kind of concept, I'm only looking for JGS signals, and that's the Jenny's Golden Strategy as coined by somebody else in our community. I'm only looking for that. So that makes it a little harder sometimes to find setups. There's always a setup, almost always, but I'm trying to stay true to that specifically. And that doesn't always leave an opportunity during the times we want to record. And that's just, real life. But this was it. Beautiful trade overall. If you take a look at the DXY, it looks like it's gaining a lot of strength. So this coming down like it is against the chef, very interesting. I'm not looking necessarily for this to continue, just so we're all on the same page. I would definitely be looking for a bit of a pullback before I try to continue this sell. Although we do have some future targets to hit. So something to keep in mind. Overall, great trade. Before I pop off of this, because previous data is always easier to look at than, the future, right? It's easier to see previous information than it is to predict future information. Let's go take a look. So I'm going to take off the auto scroll. You guys can't see that because it's off screen. Hold on real quick. From where we called this, how many times did we get a re-entry? So it popped up. We came back down. You get another re-entry, another re-entry. The amount of entries you can take in this area based off, again, whatever your strategy is. If you're looking at the spring above highs, you broke above, you made a new high. If you're looking at crosses of the 50, if you're looking at Ichimokus and MACDs, the amount of entries that are in this system over and over again to catch all of these moves to the downside are just endless. They truly are endless. Obviously, you don't need to take them all. But we talk about, hey, 200 pips. Does that make you guys dizzy? It's a lot of pips, sure. But there's 3, 4, 500 available here. If you're cashing out, re-entering, cashing out, re-entering, cashing out, re-entering, taking multiple entries along the way, scaling out, cashing out, scaling out, cashing out, and all the things in between. Beautiful setup, easy trading, and not even that complex or hard to do. It's really not that hard to do. It's not that hard to master. So beautiful trade. It's nice when they win. No, they can't always win. Go ahead and remove the board. Oops, wrong button. I know my buttons. Maybe. Remove all that. We're going to take this off of our watch list. So, what do we have? First off, this is the 4-hour time frame. Okay, you guys can see that. This is the golden strategy. Same strategy. Always looking for the same kind of situation. The point is to prove when you follow something over and over again, you can be successful. So, there are a lot of things setting up right now. We have a big news week this week. So, be careful on that US dollar. Be careful holding large positions. Make sure you're locking any profits. Do all the things. Otherwise, as you guys can see, there's not too much in the way of the US dollars. I mean, we're looking for a bit of a retracement on some of them, but they're not set up yet according to the strategy. So with that in mind, I've got 2 pairs. Number 1, this is not confirmed via arrow. Let's go clean it up a little bit. But via strategy, it is confirmed. So we've got our bullish candle above the 50. We've got our 3 above the 50. Right now we're sitting in a bearish candle. We're looking for a buy here. I'm going to go ahead and drop this slightly lower because I'm going to wait till after session crossover. I'm actually recording a little early today, mostly because I've got a dinner tonight. I'm going to go out for this pizza thing, and then we've got Boy Scouts, and we've got a couple of things we've got to do. So with that in mind, I'm getting this done a little early. A little earlier than session crossover, so please forgive me. But that's the best part of swing trading, right? Is you can take this, come back and look at it a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even later, and say, wait, what does this look like? That's the whole point. So here we go. We're looking for a buy. I'm going to let this pull back a little bit because session crossover is definitely going to widen the spread. So I'm going to make sure I have my entry a little bit further to the downside. Price points vary so much in brokers. I'm hesitant to even discuss them at this point, but something to keep in mind. Okay. You're going a little bit below where the price is currently at. On your broker's probably a little bit different. I am looking for a buy. So I'm going to minimize. Let's see. My first reaction area is going to say we already made a spring. And we already, let me get my crosshairs. this spring just came up and made equal highs, right? That's all we did. We didn't really make above. Right now, we have failed to make lower lows over and over again. So we're looking like we're making higher highs, and this is in agreement with the strategy. So we're looking for a reaction in here. Remember, the pip count on this is going to be very low. I would be anticipating, 20 to 50-ish pips because this pip count is pretty low. This whole move is only 70. So if you're definitely locking within that 20 pip range or so, I'm going to go ahead and make a tiny little BD level here. You're going to be locking no matter what at that range because the ATR on this pair is so low. Beyond that, we're going to be looking to come and break this high. As long as we're continuing above that, I'm going to minimize out. We're looking much further. So we're looking to come break these highs. And if I use my crosshairs, please forgive my magic mouse, from the point of these highs to all of this consolidation, there's a lot of liquidity sitting here. So this is what we're targeting. We're targeting all this liquidity that's in this range right here. And again, as we continue, for those of you that trade with me for a long time, we already know if we break with full body candles, retest, we have plenty more targets to the upside. But either way, definitely not a bad way to be. Figure, let's go take a look at that risk to reward. If all we're getting is into here, let's say our stop loss is here. That's not right. Give that a second. Let that catch up a little bit. Risk to reward ratio is about a 2.5 to 1 if your stop loss is there. Of course, you can also extend that stop loss. Now we're at about a 5 to 1. And your stop loss can be at a bigger portion of structure depending on what platform, what your leverage is like. Of course, a whole bunch of other values. So not bad. You're going to be averaging anywhere from a 2 to 5.5 to 1. That makes for a pretty good trade. So that's one trade idea, EURGBP. Please go place this in your demo. Come along on this journey with me. I'm doing these videos to show again that this is possible, plausible, and profitable if you stick with it. That's my only objective. It's not to promote perfection. It's not to promote any of that. It's just to say, hey, you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this, right? And that's it. So that's EURGBP. Let's go to the next one. AUDNZD. First of all, GBP NZD, Euro NZD. Quite a few NZDs are, prepping for a nice big move. However, they're not quite set up yet. This one, on the other hand, is. So I'm going to place my vertical line on the candle prior to the one where I'm calling the trade idea. I come here. Full disclaimer, I'm already in this trade. I will take another entry alongside of you guys right here, right now. Even with session crossover. There we go. I'm looking to sell, right? The big picture on this is huge. Okay, huge, huge, huge. If I give you an idea of that risk to reward, stop loss is going to be a bit bigger. This obviously has a higher ATR than, let's say, EURGBP, but still not a very large one in comparison to, bigger pairs. Your risk to reward ratio here is only about a 3 to 1. That's not bad. But as we coming up into here and into here, we've got quite the move to the downside. So bare minimum, easy 20 to 50 pips. That's in the bag, right? That's too easy. Here's where we're sitting. Your first major reaction zone, you're going to be looking to break these lows and come test this liquidity. There's a fair value gap around here as well. There you go. Beyond that, you're going to be looking to see, hey, if and when we close and retest below this level, you know where we're going next. I'm targeting the liquidity. The things that I call areas of interest. It worked for me. Early in my trading it worked for me when everyone was teaching so many different concepts and I couldn't differentiate them accurately and consistently. I learned a way to kind of just notice and learn my areas of interest. And since then, those areas of interest turn out to be great reaction levels. They typically, not always, but somewhere around 80-90% of the time, I'm getting the reaction I want at the areas that I want, which signify those were significant areas. So not bad. Here's where we're looking. I'd like to see this at least making it an easy trade. Remember, with these kind of trades, you're always 100% of the time. You're always locking, trailing, or protecting within about 1 ATR or 25 to 50 pips. Obviously, EURGBP has a smaller ATR, so you need to go a little bit smaller on that. And AUDNZD, he also has a pretty small ATR. 25 to 50 pips is still just fine here, but something to consider. And last but not least, because crypto is all the rage. Well, there we go. I love clicking through, right? First and foremost, I should really pull up TradingView. We have called accurately, by the way, very accurately, the sell that everyone was like, no, we're still buying. The pullback when that happened, okay, the pull up. I mean, we have called so many of these areas, and including this buy as well. We have discussed it endlessly in class because obviously Bitcoin is tied to so many of the other cryptos. Now, having said that, I'm not going to keep this as a trade idea on our little spreadsheet, although it would be a crap ton of pips. Hold on. Look at that now. 80, 90,000 bajillion pips, right? Obviously, the value is much smaller, so take that with a grain of salt. Either way, it's still like 8,000 in the value that we're talking about, so huge amount of pips. Notice, we've got a JGS signal. We have broke through the 50. I wouldn't be surprised to see a bit of a pullback, but provided we break and close below here, I'm looking to come and sweep this low, right? Whatever happened here, we did come and make a higher high. Here we've got equal lows, okay? We came, we made a higher high. We're now sitting back at this area of interest. There's not a lot of huge wicks or signs of rejection here. We've got this big, beautiful engulfing candle. We've retested it maybe 20%, probably less. It looks like we might pull back, but overall, if you're trading this on a 4-hour time frame, giving it plenty of room to pull back up, we've got plenty of room to the downside. Plenty to come clear these lows before maybe, just maybe, it's time to continue the upside. This is all on the daily, so we'll see how this all plays out. There's quite a bit of room to that downside, and I think it was pretty full. So definitely track this. Take a look. Come back and post on the YouTube and tell me, how did this play out? Did you take it? If so, please take it in demo. It's obviously a very inexpensive pair on this broker, but some brokers, it's very expensive. It's a flip side. So it's something to consider there. But that's all I've got for you this evening or afternoon, more accurately. If these videos are helpful, please make sure you do all the things that helps YouTube, continue to show this to more people. Because while I don't have some huge drive to be some major content creator. I love people. I love trading. I love finance. I love working with people and making an impact. We still want to get this in front of the right people. We want to get this in front of as many people as possible who we can actually impact, right? So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that help YouTube recognize this video and send it out to the right people. With that said, happy Tuesday. Happy end of almost summer, baby. Take care and God bless.